Okay, like 3 slides left for section 1 notes. So we're gonna finish those today, then I have another worksheet for you. So then we'll be done with lesson 1. Yay!
Oh,
Alright. So hydrates. I don't spend a ton of time on hydrates just because it's not something we really need to deal with in high school, but it is part of the notes, so we do go over it. So in this case, a hydrate is going to be when you have a compound that is bonded with a water molecule, and it's a specific number of water molecules, and so we call it a hydrate because that hydro is dealing with water. So hygroscopic substances will absorb water molecules from the air and become a hydrate. There is an example of one on page 164. It's sodium hydroxide. And so this form of it, it's a tiny little solid piece. If you leave it set out, it will absorb the water, and so it will, it's then known as sodium hydroxide hydrate. And it basically will start to dissolve because it's absorbing any moisture that is in the air. Compounds that form hydrates are often used as a drying agent, and they are called desiccants because they absorb so much water from the air that they become hydrated. So you can find, like, you can actually buy some of these substances to put like in your closet to help from like your clothes and stuff becoming musty in your closet, or you put it like in your attic or in your basement to absorb water so that things do not become musty.
I saw this girl on TikTok who has these bags that absorb water so that she doesn't get mold in her house.
Right. And so it's got to use some type of drying agent in there then. That helps to absorb it. If we heat up a hydrate, we call it an anhydrous compound, and that just means that we have removed any water from it. There is a picture of that process happening on the bottom of page 165. So copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate is being heated with a flame, and it is dehydrating. It is drying it. It is taking all the water off of it. So when we name hydrates, what you would do is you would put the regular name for the compound. So an example they give is sodium carbonate, which is Na2CO3. So sodium carbonate can be a hydrate when it absorbs water from the atmosphere. Then it would become a hydrate, so we'd call it sodium carbonate hydrate. And we would write it like this. And sometimes there is a coefficient number here. Remember when we balance chemical equations, we've done that before. You guys did it when you were in like 9th grade. So if you have hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas, you're going to make water. Right? And in order to balance that, we have to add these coefficients to the front of those numbers. Well, when we're talking about hydrates, we can also add a coefficient here. And those are going to be used then. We're going to use, if we look at, there's a table on this table that is on page 165. So we use, do you have those notes? Do you need them? So we would call it a hydrate, but we're going to use this number to attach one of those prefixes on table 5, which should also be on there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, on that piece of paper that I gave you with all the tables. So that should be on there. It's on Ethan, so it should be on the rest of yours. Anyways, so this is sodium carbonate. It is a hydrate, and so we call it sodium carbonate. What type of hydrate is it? The 2? Okay, so we'd look at the number and we would call it that, so dihydrate. Okay, if this was a 4, what would we call it? It would be tetrahydrate. If it was a 5, pentahydrate, hexahydrate, heptahydrate, octahydrate, nonahydrate, decahydrate. Okay, so depending on whatever this coefficient that is that's ahead of your water molecule, okay, that's the number hydrate that it is. Okay, does that make sense?
Yep.
Like I said, we don't spend tons of time on it, but they do cover it, so I also cover it. Okay. So kind of to summarize what this lesson is about then. So formula summarizes how many atoms of each element are present. If more than one formula unit of a compound is present, a coefficient is placed before the formula. That's what I just did with that 2. So H2O, if we put a number here before it, that coefficient tells us that there are 2 water molecules, right? Oh, I guess that's it. That's all there is for notes for this lesson. Any questions?